Hello, everybody. Welcome to iExperts webinar. Welcome to this very important webinar that we will discuss very important topics here regarding the governance. Here, when we speak about the governance, everybody here think in the directions and how we can set specific directions for the management. Here, extremely important for us to understand how to set these directions in a clear way using some international standards that will be very helpful for us to let us understand more about the governance and how to use it in an efficient way that will be very useful for any organization that need to enhance its services, that need to enhance its way in management, and need to make sure that it will arrive to the destination or the desired state or where they want to be. Find all of this here will be determined by making here great governance that setting directions and objectives for the business, for the management, for the IT. So we have here two great international standards that we can compare both with each other's here. First of all, it is ISO 37000, the corporate governance. This international standards that set some requirements that it will be something more than perfect for all the organization that is working in the field of that is want to enforce the governance regardless the field that they are working in. And also we will discuss in the same webinar the ISO 38500, this great webinar that will be very useful also for any organization that is working in the same environment or working in any other environment, but this environment, hey, has a very important IT department. If the IT department is very important for your organization, and I understand IT nowadays is very important for almost the majority of organization, but yes, we still have some small organization, not maybe they are depending on some small services for small businesses or something like this. There are some certain solution for small businesses they are using or something like this. But when I speak about international firms, international organizations, scale up technology companies, service providers, they have IT, or maybe this IT, it is the core service that they are delivering. So I think it is not fun to have this IT here driving or managing their activities in a wrong direction. If you want to make sure that your IT department, it is working toward the business objectives, you have to have this governance in place. So today we will discuss in our agenda in next 45 minutes, we will discuss the great topics regarding here. Mainly it is a comparison. This webinar, it's a comparison between ISO, the corporate governance and the IT governance. So we will make this comparison here in a very clear way. So you can see here that this is the agenda. We will speak about 37,000, the corporate governance. Then we will go to the 38,500, the IT governance. We'll make a comparison between polls, and we will make sure that everything here is managed and everything here is how we can make the enforcement between both environment and how we can let both work together. So The overview of governance standards here, the 37,000, as we mentioned here, it's corporate governance, providing us with the corporate governance principles for all the departments, for all the organization, for everybody here. It is real corporate governance that is covering here all the departments that is exist inside your organization. While 38,500 just focus on the IT objectives and IT, how to achieve them and how to control the management toward achieving these objectives, following these directions. Yeah, we can we can see them. I can see usually I'm describing here the corporate governance. It's an umbrella. It is the umbrella. Fine, your umbrella here that is covering here the everything here inside your organization. So at the end of the day, we can say that extremely important for you to understand that when you have this umbrella, this is the corporate governance, you have many, we can call it here pillars inside this building, pillars inside each department. So I can say here that the governance can be, the corporate governance can be the umbrella that is covering all the departments, while the IT governance here, it is a smaller umbrella inside this big umbrella for the IT department. Or we can consider here, it's one of the pillars here in this building, fine, and the big umbrella here is the corporate governance. It's a part of the corporate governance. Both must work together. I can say in a crystal clear way that the main goal for both of them, it is the same goal. Yeah, corporate governance, IT governance have the same goal. Yes, the same goal. The difference here, it is in the scope. This is corporate, looking for the corporate, while this one, it is purely designed for the IT department. So here, when we speak about the differences here, it is differences in the principles, the tools, the way to do it, but there is no difference in the final goal. There is no difference here of having everything crystal clear, having everything here matching our main objectives here. So at the end, when we speak about the main objectives here of this environment, our main objective here of the having this corporate governance behind IT governance, the final goal, it is the same. I can say the final goal is to achieve business objectives, to be aligned with the business strategy, to be mapped here to the organization here objectives, achieving this objectives here in a very efficient way, and of course managing the risk to the lowest level here, managing and measuring the performance, achieving the accountability on different layers here. Everything must be defined. Usually I prefer to use here, when we speak about the governance definition, usually I prefer to use COVID-19 governance definition. ISACA COVID definition here, they defining the governance as setting directions and objectives. Yeah, this is the definition of governance. It is how we can set directions and objectives. Directions for the business, objectives that will be achieved when you go to and arrive here on a certain point. We call this point here desired state, that when you start any gap analysis at the beginning of any project, you are making a comparison. You are making a comparison between the current state and the desired state. So the description here of this desired state, the objectives that must be achieved in this desired state, the status that you must be on in this desired state, fine, we can call this the objectives. Setting these objectives, it is the half of the governance. The other half of the governance is setting the directions. How to do it? Yes, if you're asking me here to drive a car and drive, for example, here from London Heathrow to Luton Airport, fine. Of course, it is just one way at the end. You have to exist the most efficient way, but I can go to south of London, then go to Preston, for example, or any other city, then driving to Luton. Maybe I will spend here, for example, 5 hours until going to Luton. However, the destination here and how long it will take between Heathrow and Luton, I think it's less than 1 hour 30 minutes if you're driving in the accepted fine with the normal speed. What I'm speaking here is that maybe 2 persons here will take me fine to Luton here, but one will do it in a very efficient way with the shortest route, with the most efficient way, and another person here will be lost for a couple of hours or 3 hours or something like this before letting me go to my destination. This is the directions. When you drive from a city to a city using in your car, and you open the GPS, you are opening Apple Maps, Google Maps, blah, blah, blah maps. Setting, hey, this is here we are speaking about the directions. Sometimes the directions here, right, is extremely important. Sometimes it is taking the priority before speaking about the speed. Fine. Usually I was speaking with my team 1 month ago. I was speaking with this idea, the directions. It is most important, fine, and it's extremely important here, fine, and it is coming here before the speed. You have to drive from the current state to the desired state. This is simply the governance. Number 2, we will speak about management. We will go to the management. We will discuss more about the management here. Extremely important to understand that governance here, something strategic, setting direction, setting objectives, define rules and responsibilities, extremely important. We must have clear rules and responsibilities predefined, crystal clear, exist inside your organization. Everybody understand what to do, what is needed to do, how to do it, when to do it. If there is an incident, who is the ultimately responsible person and this incident? The IT manager or the CISO? Regardless, we understand here it's IT or security. This is a very common concern here. It is a problem here in the availability. Availability is a shared concern between the IT and cybersecurity and information security. Sorry. Who should give the response first? Assuming that we have 2 departments, each department working with its own incident management. Both will give a response together and maybe make the incident more catastrophic. So let's define first the rules and responsibilities. Let's make segregation here and making sure that everything is managed well to avoid here conflict of interest, to avoid here duplications of effort, to avoid here lack of actions. Sometimes, fine, I will depend on my colleague, and my colleague depend on me. So this can lead to catastrophic incident. I don't like now in this webinar to discuss that there are some persons lost their life because something like this. It happened in Helios Airways. It was the catastrophic flight that it was happening, that it was flying from Larnaca in Cyprus to the Republic of Czech, I remember. Fine. And everybody dead in this airplane. Why? Because 2 persons here, fine, 2 persons here, fine, the pilot and the co-pilot, both of them, one of them switched the cap and compression on, while the other one wants to turn it on, so he turned it off. Duplication, right? So, or two persons depending on each other's. So before start to management, before build, before planning of management. Hey, this is here when I speak about this planning here, I'm speaking about the planning of management. Fine. Before doing that, you have to, before planning of management, you have to understand the directions, the objectives. Otherwise, you will make a wrong plan. You instead of letting me spending my summer vacation in Marsilia, fine, you will let me to go to a small village in France, for example, or something like this. Maybe it will not be bad, but I want to go to Marsilia. So you have to take me to this hotel in Marsilia, for example. Yeah, you understand me. So before making planning here for achieving specific objectives, we have to understand what are these objectives. I think it makes sense. Fine. So the separation here between governance and management, it is one of the basics concepts and the basics principles that are exist in COBIT 5, COBIT 19, making a separation between governance and management. Making this separation between governance and the management, it is not fun, it is not luxury, it is not nice to have, it is a must. It is a must to make separation of duties. Separation here between the governance, the persons that setting the directions, and the management, the persons that driving toward specific objectives or something like that. Let's go in a little bit in the details of one of them. If you allow me, I will start down up. I will start with the pillars here, the governance of the IT. I will speak about here the IT governance, and we will discuss a little bit about, as we mentioned here in this webinar, we are making a comparison. So we have defined that governance. We understand now the definition of governance, setting direction and objectives, while management implementing activities. This one, management implementing activities to achieve these objectives. We understand this. When we speak about the scope of the IT here, we are speaking here about the purpose. The purpose here, let's ensure there is effective use of IT aligned with the business goal. Fine. The key principles here also very important. It's very important to define the responsibilities as we mentioned. This is the requirement of the ISO standard itself. The strategy, you have to make the strategy, fine, and make this strategy here crystal clear for everybody that is working here inside this organization. And you have to make it here crystal clear. This is the meaning of the strategy. The strategy must be provided in a very clear way, providing you here with the showing you the road, showing you here where to go. So this is when we speak about the strategy, we are speaking here that your IT strategy that is aligned with the business goal must be defined, must be communicated, must be clear, must be measured. Yeah, you agree with me. When we speak about acquisition, hey, before we make acquisition to any IT, making any IT investments, making acquisition here for another company, we are speaking here about this acquisition. It must be any IT investment must be for a valid reason. Even when you make acquisition for a small software, when you make a decision here, fine, for purchasing this EDR, this WAF, this CRM, any activity must be governance. What if your activity is not governed? I am so sorry to say that if this activity is not or will not help me to achieve a predefined business objectives, I am so sorry to say that is this ungoverned, non-governed activities here. Usually we are saying that we have two types of activities, governed activities and another activities here, it is not governed activities, something yours. to see that this actions is governance. What's the meaning of governance? Just means that I am doing this activity to achieve this objectives that is exist in my strategy. But when you go to make acquisition here for a software that maybe will be useful for the persons. No, this is here governance. This is here this activity. We cannot say it's a governed activity. We cannot say that. It is not governed at all. It is random activities. It is, for example, you are testing your luck. You are trying to see if it is useful. No, or no. There is no governance here. We have to speak about. Remember also, there is no governance without managing the risk, without saying that this control is to mitigate certain risk, or this control here is to achieve here or exploiting an opportunity for a specific risk. Something yours. You have the choice. If everything is clear and you are going to this training. You are going to this training because I'm going to attend this training because this training will help me to achieve and having these skills, and these skills is mandatory to achieve one of our objectives. So this is the controlled way, the organized way in management. Otherwise, it will not be managed. Don't forget the performance. Of course, the conformance here, which is mean complying with regulations, with contractual obligations, when you're inside the corporate requirements or your internal policies, internal standards. This is the conformance here when I speak about, just means that I'm complying here with specific organization, with specific organization requirements, regulations, contractual obligations, something like that. Remember also the human behavior. Why? Maybe you have the policies, it's written, communicated, reviewed every year, but not enforced. This is good? Of course not good. The human behavior here, it is a key success. So we have our controls, PPT, people, process, technology. We have to have them in place. So remember also that we have in the model, remember, evaluate, direct, monitor, evaluate, direct, monitor. I think that you saw this before, evaluate, direct, monitor, evaluate, direct, monitor. This is the governance. Can you see again? Evaluate, you have to evaluate the business need, direct, setting directions and objectives to be cascaded to the business later, and monitor. Here I have two types of monitoring. Monitoring for the plan, daily achievement, monthly achievement, blah, 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 quarterly achievements, and governance monitoring to make sure that really here, when we to monitor governance and monitor here everything related to the governance. Again, designing governance, it is an art. It is an art. Really, I am enjoying it too much. I am enjoying, hey, setting directions and objectives after making a translation to the business need. Understand from the upper management here, understand from the CEO, understand from chairman, understand from the business, hey, what they need, and let's go down and let's go here in some certain details that will be useful for everybody here. In addition to that, so this is here the governance model. Don't forget that this is here extremely important to understand this. So we have here 6 principles. I think that I have discussed them. And the responsibility, you have to define the responsibility. Number 2, you have to write down the strategy. Fine. And finally, and of course the performance. The performance here, extremely important to be measured all the time. Acquisition here, before any acquisition for any activity, for any software, before doing anything here, fine, you can see here, you can see that it's extremely important to make here, just as we call it here, some sort of assurance here, some sort of verification. Is this activity well achieve business objectives, yes or no? This is straightforward here question that will be answered. Fine. Is this activity will achieve here specific business goal or no? Don't forget the conformance here and the human behavior, as we have mentioned this before. What are performance model activities? We have three core activities. Let's understand them. First, evaluate the current and future use of IT. Without seeing the future, without seeing here how much you are aligned with the future, I think it will be tough for you to drive in the correct direction. I am sorry to say that it will be difficult or almost impossible for you without understanding what we will use, how we will use these devices after 5 years. What is the direct organization for the organizations that got invested a lot of money in desktop computers? I mean, desktops, and after that they discovered that they have thousands of computers, and everybody now is going to virtual desktop on the cloud. So investment costs can be high on a specific year, can let this organization here not achieving specific profit in this year, but it is distributed across 3 or 4 years. Gradually, you will manage this. This is the value of managing the IT. Don't think that the IT management is just to make the computers and the mouses, keyboard working with the end. I understand this is extremely important. But you, as here, IT director, your job is a little bit different. You have to set the plan. You are here. IT, where is the IT director? The IT director is this gentleman or this lady is here in management planning. Actually, I don't know if you can see my mouse or no. Fine. Yes, the laser point. Can you see here the mouse? You can see it, right? So at the end of the day, you can see the laser here pointer. You can see here. This is the job of the IT director. This is the job of the CIO. This is the job here of the gentleman or ladies that is working in this very important function. So it is not a fun to when we speak about the current here and the future use of IT. It must be mentioned. It must be cleared. It must be defined. Fine, for everybody here. So in addition to that, you have also to understand that in a lot of here situations, you have also to make as CIO here, you have to direct the preparation and implementation of plans and policies. Because this is the job of the governance, you have to make an alignment between the governance and between the management. So good preparation for plans, for policies or something like that, it will be extremely important for everybody in this party. Also, monitor the performance compliance with policy. Monitor performance and compliance with policy. It will be here, fine. One of the main points that you have to have in your hand. It is like here the dashboard of your car. Can you drive a car without counters, without here some a dashboard telling you what is your current speed, what is the temperature of the car, if there is here any error happening in the engine or another types of error? Can you drive a car without telling you what is the RPM now, what is the current speed at least? Can you drive a car without this? I doubt to have something like this. Remember this example when we speak about monitoring performance. Actually, I'm giving also another example here. If you are not driving with, if you are not driving here without monitoring the performance, you are like the driver that is driving a car while he or she closing their eyes. Is this something good to drive for 1 minute, less than 1 minute, by the way, for 30 seconds, while I'm closing here my eyes? Even your car has lane alignment, pre-collision detection, blah, blah, blah of technology. This is too risky. It is too risky to close your eyes while you are driving. It is the same like the organizations that are managing everything without a governance, without understanding the directions. That every day in the morning that we are going to work to see, good morning, what we shall to do today? There is any complaint from the team? There is like, no, it's not fun to drive in this way. You have to drive in a very clear way by setting directions and objectives. So this was about the 38,500. Let's speak about the corporate governance. Let's go up a little bit, please. When we speak about the corporate governance, the 37,000 here, it is a great ISO standard, as we mentioned here. Fine. The purpose, it is guide the organization, fine, toward it is to the sustainability here of that, which is mean achieving its objectives to see where they are going to find and make sure that they are driving here in the right directions here. Also, extremely important here to see that in the key principles here, you have to define here the purpose, the value generation, the accountability, transparency, ethical culture, fine, and stakeholder engagement. It is not fun again to define and to work here without a predefined purpose. Predefined purpose here, fine. So at the end of the day, when we speak about here the purpose and the value generation, this is value delivery. It is one of the output of the governance, value delivery. Accountability for the team, the transparency, and of course, before and above everything, the ethics. And stakeholder engagement. When we speak about here, we will discuss, by the way, this we have, usually we are saying that we have 11 core governance principles. 11, remember, 11 core governance principles that we have to achieve them. We will discuss all of them now in the 37,000. So these are the key principles. It applies to all types of the organizations, all sizes, because this is corporate governance. You can be 10. It can be 10 organization or 10, just 10 employees, fine, and you have a governance. You have a governance, you have a setting that you have set some directions and objectives for that. So we have some basic requirements, remember them, fine, the governance requirements, fine, that first of all, the clarity of rules and structure, it must be clear. There is no conflict of interest. There is segregation of duties. There is no conflict of interest. There is as segregation of duties. It is extremely important. Also, effective delegation and oversight. No single point of failure. If this person here disappear, which is mean he or she now flying from Dubai to Sydney in Australia. How long it will take? 19 hours? 19 hours, I think. 21 hours, I remember. 21 hours, I remember. I know, around something like this. This person, this gentleman, this lady will be out of life out of communication, hey, for 1 hour. And he or she is a single person or the only person that has the domain admin password. What if we are in incident now and we need here to access using this domain admin? What to do? If you are just depending on one person without a clear here delegation or something like this, I think this is not good. This is one of the governance requirements. Fine. Integrity in leadership. It doesn't make sense to have this CEO inside this organization enforcing me to purchase from this vendor because he or she is owning or has interest to purchase from this vendor. No, of course, we have to have the integrity here in the leadership. Proceeds for ethical decision making. Fine, it must be there. Fine, and it must be managed, and also defining the mechanism and evaluating here the governance performance. Evaluating the governance performance here, I think it will be something extremely important for everybody, and it must be clear, as we mentioned, performance. Governance, performance, evaluating performance, governance, like the driver that is driving a car and sees the dashboard in front of his or her eyes and can see the route, can see the cars behind him or her, can see how long it will take to take the next exit to blah, blah, blah location or something like this. You understand me? So the person that has no direction, that cannot see the road, that can it is foggy, for example, here weather, it will be very tough to have here this a clear to arrive here safe in into this destination here. Fine. So at the end of the day, you have this is here the performance measurement. Remember here, this must be clear in your reporting cycle. Just must be clear here also of how you are fine managing here your projects, so on. So this is here the part of the performance monitoring for the governance. Finally, alignment of the purpose, the value, the culture of this organization. Yeah, extremely important to be aligned here with the values, with the purpose, with the culture of this organization. There are some organization has specific culture. You must be enforcing this culture. Your governance here is extremely responsible to enforce this culture and make sure that these values are achieved. Fine. Here's the value of the governance. How many core principles we have, Ahmed, here in 37,000? We have 11 core principles of ISO 37000. Hey, first, you have to define clear here organizational purpose. What is the purpose of this organization? Fine. Value generation. At the end of the day, when we create here, we have to create a value. Yes, one of the output of the governance is value delivery, value generation. This is one of the main 6 pillars of the governance. This is the first one. Strategic alignment, value delivery, risk management, performance, evaluation, resource optimization here, and assurance integration between all functions. These are the 6 principles or the 6 output of any governance model. Also, to be aligned, strategically aligned with the governance, with the organizational objectives. Fine. And also you can see the performance by oversight here, the risk, the compliance, how we are compliant and so on. And this will never be happened without a clear here monitoring and a clear reporting cycle, and that showing you the rule. Accountability here, define clear rules and responsibilities across the organization. So extremely important to have everything here clear in this way. In addition to that, the responsibility here promote responsible conduct by individuals and organization. And so the responsibility here must be clear, must be predefined. We have to make some sort of training and drills here what to do, especially during the crisis, especially during the incident, especially during the tough time, the difficult times. in the normal days, I'm okay to, as there is misunderstanding, let's fix it. No, let me take my lunch first. I will make this call first. Let's meet tomorrow after my vacation. But during tough time, during difficult time, think we will not have the luxury to do this without having everything clear and mentioned. clearly. The stakeholder engagement, this is also extremely important to have the stakeholders and engaged stakeholders here, any internal or external persons that has an interest in this organization. Performance, performance here, fine. It is performance monitoring. I think that we have covered this point and we discussed it. There is no tolerance to drive and achieving certain objectives without having here clear objectives predefined. So it is extremely important to have this in hand. And so it is very important, extremely important to have the performance and also the visibility here to see financial, non-financial here, viability, viability here for a long term of success is extremely important for you to make sure that you are financially covered. You will not face specific financial problem here. You will not be a root cause for one of the financial incidents that the organization will see. I am speaking here about the corporate governance, because one of the departments can cause a problem for all the other departments. Poor of planning, poor of management, or something like that. So here, this is a full picture. Let's see here this great table that is making a comparison between both of them. First of all, the ISO 37000. It is covering the whole organization, while 38500, it is just for the IT. 37,000 focus on the corporate sustainability, corporate here, managerial, and very it is something related more for the organization and how you can here see this organization, how it will look in the future and how it will work in the future. So this is extremely important here to understand this part. Fine. So extremely important to understand that corporate governance here, it's looking to the future, not just for today or for this year or for this quarter. You understand me? Fine. In addition to that, the strategic IT use for 38500, this is also not just not the replacement for the IT plan or something like this for next year. No, it's strategic, something strategic for the IT. The audience can be different. In 37,000, we will go to the board, the executive stakeholders, while in 38,500, also we will go to the business leaders. Of course, we are making and communicating between the business and the IT. Application hey, 37,000 for the broad governance, and while the ISO 38500, it is for IT specific governance. So this is here the comparison. The alignment and integration, you can see here, yeah, usually you can describe the 37 as an umbrella. Fine, you can see it here. Fine, this graph, fine, 37,000 governance. It is an umbrella, while the 38,500, it is more related to the IT governance, one of the pillars here. Fine. So this is here. Of course, maybe I have another pillars here. Operation governance, sales governance, marketing governance. You understand me? Manufacturing governance, customer service governance. Fine. All of them are under the corporate governance. So the IT here can be one of the pillars inside below this umbrella. Together, both of them can helping me to achieve the strategic alignment, especially between the IT and the corporate. Fine. Transparent decision-making, technology governance within the ethical leaders. How to do that? Usually, we advise our clients to follow the plan of making the gap analysis first, fine, and set the controls and review here what are the missing controls, what are the needed here adjustment, and to be able to enforce the requirements, the principles, to make them work inside your organization. Of course, we can make things work together, like the COBIT, it's IT governance framework. COBIT, it's IT governance framework. It can work with 38,500. It's shared. There are a lot of shared topics here. So this is here the 38,500. and the 37,000 here in the corporate governance. So we can let them work together by making the gap analysis, the implementation and remediation here, then go to the audit, fine, to make sure that everything here is clear. And you can get attestation of compliance. There is no certification here. There is no certification, international certification, I mean, from for 37,000 and the 38,500, but you can get attestation based on a specific audit. Yeah, I can audit you and provide with attestation here, which means that I have audited you against this standard and I discovered that you are compliant with this principles, with this requirements, or you have non-conformities in specific areas here. Fine. So here you can do this together. Don't forget here the people factor. The people factor here, find that you have to train the people well. You have to train your people. You have to train the persons well. Fine. And nowadays we have some courses from PCP. Fine. And that is for 37,000. And also another courses here that is not just focus here on the, and also you have COBIT, and that is focus here on the value of the standards of these standards and how to have it in our organization. So it is not fun to start your journey here without having well-educated team and a great team that is have everything in hand. So usually we are advising our clients, and that is looking to have the corporate sustainability, executive accountability, and have a real success key for the operation and the management before they start to operate is to have the corporate governance. In addition to that, 38,500 also can be useful also for digital transformation. Yeah, because you are controlling, you are setting objectives and directions. It also can be very useful for IT investment oversight before you go to specific IT investment, and also can work for cybersecurity and information security governance as well. Fine. Well, this is a summary. Fine. We said that both are targeting the governance. Fine. 37 related more to the organizational leadership, while the 38,500 is related more to the IT leadership. And both can help and ensure the trust, can ensure the compliance, the values, and across all the business requirements, across all layers, across all projects that you are implementing, across all the acquisition that you are making for IT systems or something like that. It was my pleasure here to spend this 45 minutes with you or more. Fine. Now, if you have any question, I will be very happy to get your questions here on the chat box, and you can share with me your questions. And thank you very much to attend this webinar. Please don't forget to register here with us in our webinars, in our next webinars, to be invited. Usually we are organizing almost every week, every Thursday. We have a webinar that is discussing here certain topics that is discussing here new trending technologies, requirements, or challenges and tips and tricks. Fine. Usually these webinars here, our main objective is to spread the knowledge. It is totally and will stay 100% free all the times to spread the knowledge, and I think it will be useful to attend this 1 hour every week. Fine. So it will be very useful for everybody. And we will be very happy to having you. You can follow us on our social media so we can announce the next time webinars. It was really my pleasure to see you and hear from you. If you have any question, you can send us some emails. If you need any inquiry, we will be very happy to help and very happy to hear from all of you. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. It was my great pleasure to see you, and hope to see you soon in another webinar. See you soon. Thank you very much. Bye bye. See you. Assalamu alaikum.